Welcome to P3 Radio.
The monkey only dances as good as the guy grinding the organ handle.
Brother.
I fly, bro. That is never stopping.
Truck goes to the white.
Cool story, bro.
Footy pajamas.
Hey, genius, it's 2 p.m. Central.
PG3 Radio.
Here's your host, Josh Riley.
Get him off pig, Freddy. Get him off pig.
Richard Mullican.
And as I put you down, my pants ripped.
It's showtime! It's showtime! It's showtime!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of P3 Radio. I just looked up. I'm Richard Mullican. After a 3-week hiatus of doing this show, joined by my co-host. He is known to make a little turtle oven. He is the 1983 Mr. Dixie Youth Grand Champion and best friend, Josh Brawley. Say hey, Josh.
How are you doing, Richard Lee?
Are
you better than you were last week?
Well, last week, we took a week off. We weren't here.
Yeah, you think? You somehow went into autopilot mode before I got here.
So we got a lot of tabs to talk about. Let's open those up.
I was trying to do that last week. Couldn't do a tab.
What is turtle oven?
I don't know. I think it's...
we'll get to my beating soon enough, I promise you. I know. But I've always wondered, what does that mean? What is, that Dixieland Delight song, A Little Turtle Dovin'? Is that a sex thing?
I think it's like,
you poke it in and you go,
how a turtle head goes in and out of its body.
Yeah. What does the dove have to do with it?
I don't know. Maybe they're talking about they just want to be birds and get high.
Little turtle. Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Because, they've been known to smoke a joint or two.
On stage?
Well, I don't know about that, but...
Isn't that Alabama that sings that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Randy Gentry or whatever the last guy, the dude with the last name Gentry in the band.
I know
Bobby,
Montgomery
maybe?
Gentry.
Well,
that was later.
He just got arrested like a few months ago in Alabama, no less, for pot. Yeah, they're screwing with him. That man's a national treasure. Get off his nuts.
You would think he'd be a state treasure in Alabama. Nothing sacred there, man.
I guess. Not even sisters.
I got a friend moving to Alabama pretty soon.
Cool. Just tell him to do as he's been doing, not do as they're doing around him.
He did tell me when he was coming down, he's like, man, the only thing I'm worried about is they're going to be Alabama. He's like, I don't want them to be Alabama fans living here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it seeps into you, man. It's like a deadly drug that can seep in through your pores,
College?
Huh?
Like sports teams?
Well, you just Alabama in general.
Oh.
No, man. So, yeah, last week was a thing, huh?
Boy, was it.
And, let's just go ahead. Go ahead. Jump right in. You said you were a little mad before we started this show.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
I was like, you said you wasn't mad on Sunday.
No, it was funny.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I was insulted.
Well, no. I mean, like...
Oh, no, I was insulted.
I know what you were trying to say.
Yes.
But I know how it came out.
Oh, I had a few people like, man, you really were a dick to Josh. I was like, well.
You should be me. And I should be like you right now.
And I remember telling you when I called you, I was like...
I felt like, you ever seen The Butterfly Effect? You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces a long time ago.
After the future and the past had done got so twisted, his friend, who's, was trying to get the dog out of the sack or whatever so he wouldn't get killed.
Maybe I haven't seen this movie. Maybe I thought I did.
Either way, his best friend ends up armless and legless in a hospital. And whenever he tries to go in there and talk to him, or maybe he was legless or something. Either he grabs
Maybe you
him,
haven't seen this movie.
he grabs him and pulls him in close, and he says,
The guy with no arms grabs him?
I said,
Oh, maybe he's legless
yeah,
instead. Okay.
maybe it's just that. He grabs him, pulls him in close to the hospital bed. He says, "You should be here." That's how I felt last
Was there a
week.
marketing campaign that had that for a while?
I
Where they had those big picture frames and it was like you
Fortune
should,
500 company,
Yeah.
or
I mean,
we got swagger, baby.
It got a little schemy to me. You
yeah,
know.
it was trip taking, right?
Yeah, it was like timeshare, but
The more trips you take, the funner it is.
and you just see people smiling, that Stepford Wives smile,
Well, no.
holding that picture frame that says
What
you
was
should
funny
be
about
here.
the whole shit that you know, like if you knew somebody that was actually into it,
Mhm.
it would be some stupid shit like, and these people would contact you and be like, "Look, if you take a trip to Miami right now, me and you both could take a trip to Paris for free. All you got to do is pay for the Miami trip. How much would it be like for the whole thing? Like $1,500, and that's a steal."
Yeah, it's called World Ventures.
Yes, we've talked about them on the show.
Did we?
before. I remember it was a few years ago, and I don't know what it was. It was some kind of big article. They were doing some kind of nastiness.
I told you that I remember seeing somebody using one of those. Like somebody took their, I guess, I don't know what the deal was. I imagine it was like any other timeshare where you paid a lot of money and you continued to pay a lot of money for like 1 week a year, and then they try to sell it. It's like, well, how much do you save on How much do you save for vacations anyways? You might just give it to us.
Right.
It's like, well, no. How about I just save it and decide where I want to go? Well, you lose your money that way by not giving us your money.
Right.
And then they tack on all these extra fees and dues and stuff. Yeah, it's.
And then with the offer of like awesomeness in the future or whatever.
Dude,
No, sorry.
when we went to Disney, I didn't get a chance to articulate this last week.
There's a lot you didn't get a chance to articulate.
I was happy, man.
You
I
were
was happy.
something.
But there was the hotel we stayed at was a Hilton hotel, and every time we went down for breakfast, there'd be like the first day we were there, this woman comes down. She's like a manager type. She's in like a pantsuit, and she walks over to us and she's like, "Hey, Mr. Mulligan, how are you this morning?" You know, and I'm like, "Oh, pretty good." She's like, "That is great. Did you book with us or was it your wife?" And I was like, "It was my wife." And she's like, "Okay, great. I'm going to come by in a little bit, Mr. Mulligan, and I'm going to give you some free Hilton points, okay? We're going to get you some free points today." And I'm like, "Okay, cool," you know. So she comes by, and then she starts selling us on this timeshare. Like, "Hey, I know you've looked at this before. You know, you were here in March." That's the way she talked. I'm not just doing, this isn't a character. This is you were here in March. And I see that you did the timeshare thing. Would you be interested in doing it again, you know, in the next couple of weeks? And you can give us X amount of dollars and buy this many points. And we're like, not interested. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and count give you 500 points on your account. And you have a nice day. Great. Fine, right? It happened every day at breakfast. In fact, towards the last day, me and my wife were having a bit of a discussion. I don't call it an argument. It was just a discussion. And it was like just one of those, you're not ready to leave vacation, you know, you're just frustrated at something. And we're having a pretty heated talk. And all of a sudden, I'm in the middle of like spewing into my promo, and all of a sudden I hear, "Hello, family. How's it going today?" It's like, God, we're out by the pool too. They're like, let me ask you, did y'all go to Disney? What brings you in? We're going to give you some points today, okay? And I'm like, and like after like 2 minutes of her talking to me and me searing at her, she goes, I was like, "Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but we've already heard this about 4 times." She's like, "Oh, 4 times? Well, then, you know, y'all kind of got off light," because I was like, I just wanted to be like, "Go away." Let me finish my argument. Totally killed the argument, though.
I bet.
We turned our focus to hating her instead of each other. It was wonderful.
As long as the issue wasn't that bad, then yeah,
No.
it's easily deflectible.
Yeah. Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
it, bitch.
We
yeah.
drowned her in the pool. Hold her down.
Let's go to Denny's now. I love you.
Let's go to Disney.
Good
that
old
how-
fashioned murder will cure
did you-
anything.
I thought you were gonna say good old fashioned Denny's will cure anything. I was like, did you get a Denny's sponsorship you ain't telling me about?
Murder someone together with your spouse and go to Denny's afterwards. You'll be all right.
Go to Denny's. While you're there, get a Grand Slam breakfast. It's the best way to start your morning. Denny's, open in a neighborhood near you. But Josh, go ahead. Let's do it. Get it out of the way.
What?
I'm here. I'm taking my medicine.
Oh, well.
I will say I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll say I'm sorry for. I don't know why I was painting you as a drunk. It wasn't. I know you didn't. I know you know I didn't mean it that way.
No. You.
I meant to say, we were swapping places. Like you said with the butterfly effect.
Right. You should be me right now. But you said it about 500 times.
Yes, and I only thought I said it once until I listened back, and I'm like, I am really harping on the fact that.
But, I tried to stay, understanding the whole time. Because I'm not ignorant to the fact I've done the same thing to you probably 6-8 times during the past 5 years.
When we first started the show, that was the show. And then we just stopped drinking at the same time as much?
I guess. I don't know. But, after about 30 minutes or so, I kind of got to the point to where mentally, even though I wasn't trying to show it because, I was really trying to be a good guy. And like I said, I understood everything, because I've done it to you before, but I'm going to try to deliver this because it's an active deal. If I pause it, it'll just go back. But I found, I was on Twitter the other day.
I was wondering why you clicked on this tab, and I'm like, does he just want to see this loop of a video over and over again?
No, I was on Twitter the other day, and I just came across it, and I watched it, and I was like, that was me battling during this show.
The other thing, before you play this, the other thing that I noticed is I kept telling you, I was like, you go ahead and take control.
Yeah.
But one more thing, Josh.
Rocket time! Woo! And you'd over-modulate and crush the vocals.
That was the only thing I don't feel bad about.
But yeah, I got to the point where I felt like this feller here.
That's Alex Jones, by the way.
It's your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch. You piece of shit. You fucking goddamn fucker. Listen, fuckhead. You have fucking crossed the line. Get that through your goddamn fucking head. Stop pushing your shit. It's your goddamn ass, you son of a...
I saw that and I lost my shit because I was like, hell yeah. I know what you're talking about. That is in the recently.
I mean, it could have been worse. I could have puked and had you carry me in my house.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just...
Here's the thing, though, man. As bad as I was, and let me not say that yet. Let's go ahead and take all your...
You've teetered that way before.
Yes.
But I was right there with you, so it didn't matter.
Yeah. We were lost together.
Yeah, but it looks bad on either me or you when it's just one of us. You know what I mean?
Yes. Because you have a sober, what is it called when you have like a...
Perception.
No. What is it when you have two things right beside each other? Not a perspective, but you have a...
Reality?
No, a basis of comparison. There we go. You have a basis of comparison that this guy's drunk and this guy's not. When we're swerving... We're grading on a curve together, man. Mm-hmm. But when one of us isn't, it's like, wow, that guy was. That was one time that we were doing the show, and I think it was the last time McCaskill and Josh were here, our Goby.
Yeah,
and
that was the bathroom incident where I fucking fell, but I fell for like 2 minutes, and I just went to sleep with my wiener hanging out.
And I was gonna say, I think there was one time I said, "What do you think, Josh?" And you went. I was like, all right, we gotta go, guys. I was like, this is not a good thing. When he stops forming words, that's when we got to get him out of this house. But no, man, I feel bad listening back to it.
Yeah, I bet you do.
The first. Now, there are a few things in that episode that I thought were hilarious. Mm-hmm. You know, I've always told people that I thought that I was funnier when I was drunk, and apparently, no, that's not correct. Like listening back. Now, I will say this. I had some nuggets in there that I would not have sober.
Right.
Like the skipping from one thing to the next in my brain, for whatever reason, I have that a lot, but I know how to filter that out. It wasn't filtered at all last week. It was just like, I'm talking to you, and I died laughing over this because I'm in mid-speech with you about something. And I go, hey, I got a Green $1 Million Man action figure this past week. That's pretty cool, huh? And it was like over the course of like nothing. But, and then I thought, well, you know, my wife might not like the fact that I said, I mean, it made it sound like, I know it was a joke, and you know it was a joke, but if somebody took that out of context, they'd be like, did he just say he was with his wife for just the insurance? I don't think my wife would think that. You know what I mean? But I don't want anybody, you know, I was like, damn, that sounded bad. I think the only things that I feel bad about, really, I mean, other than the fact that, okay, let's count them off. Should we go through the list? Hold on. Do we need some music for this? You're looking at me. You're not saying anything.
I'm just waiting.
What are we waiting on?
Get done with your shit.
Oh, well, hold on. Let me do the tour, Josh. There we go. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Here we go. Is it going to have an ad? Of course. This 20-year
Mary Tyler Moore sings.
40-year-old song has an ad.
Somebody's got to get paid.
All right, here we go. So the things I feel bad about. A, I'll try to go in order. First, making it seem like you were a drunk. That that you were the one that was always hammered. Second, for saying, Josh, you've got this show, do it. And at one point I was like trying to emphasize how like BT loved you and didn't me. I don't know why that was important. I was like, so everybody, and it came out like, well, now BT will be happy, but it was supposed to be like, because you're running the show. And I was like running the show, and then I wasn't. So I didn't give you that opportunity. I should have. Third thing, I really shouldn't have gotten into all that personal stuff about my mom and implementing her in domestic abuse cases.
Yeah, you did kind of paint her like she was Haku,
huh? Oddly enough, really proud of her when I get drunk, apparently. And all of her Mr. Fuji ways. Bringing up step siblings, I didn't really feel like that was fair to my stepfather. So, yeah, so I was like, I didn't really like that. And then I guess the last thing would be the Angela Lansbury stuff. Because
feel bad about them jokes, huh?
well, not feel bad about the jokes because the jokes were hilarious. But the out of context, I'd feel bad. Like there's no way to defend. You know how we talked about this before. If somebody pulls you into the office and says defend this, how do you defend it? I mean, we could say, well, that wasn't me. That was Angela Lansbury saying that.
Right.
You know, that's the joke. But it's harder to defend. So, and then I guess the last thing, I'm sorry I privatized the episode last week. But I felt like at the time it was probably the best thing to do. So, all right.
You want to know what I think?
What was that?
I think that you have, it's, I went through it the same way too. Because there would be times to where, you know, like I said, I've done this 6 or 8 times now. I'm a vet at this, man. And I'm also a vet at the guilt associated with it.
Oh, I'll get there too, but I feel like you need to get those punches in. I feel like you need to hurt me, Joshua. I feel like you need to do this.
Well,
and then I'm going to talk about some things, but I don't think you'd feel right about hurting me if I talked first. So you hurt me. You punch me in the face. You do it. You should have done it last week. You should have stood up and Andy Kaufman, Jerry Lawler slapped the shit out of me for some of the things I was saying.
You didn't talk about my kids or my mom.
No.
Then that would never be warranted.
We said something about your mom on a diet. I remember that. And I was proud of her.
Yeah.
Did I say? Okay, anyways, go ahead.
Anyways, I've dealt with that same type of guilt. The guilt is what made you privatize it. It ain't what the fuck you said. You've said way worse before.
Give some episodes.
Way
Go
worse.
listen to episode 34. You
The
got into a
reason-
thing about Jewish people I don't even want to talk about.
The reason you did that is because it's the freshest cut, man. You know.
Well, it also too. It was the label on the show was a high profile label that I can't. Once I label something and put it out there, it's like it's the Dickens to get it down
Yeah.
or change the name. So I was like, man, that might bring a few more ears to our show.
And that would be great. Because the idea has always been, no matter what, if you say it, that's it.
That's
No
not
editing,
always been that.
No editing.
We put that rule into place
No,
because I was
nothing.
having to edit every day that we
know.
would do the show.
And, I mean, the only time we've edited it, like, is if...
We've edited some stuff out.
Edited, but I don't think it's warranted here, man. I really don't.
Yeah. Well,
I think, under the guise of comedy, like, nobody's going to be able to sue you.
yeah. Well,
and you can
slander
probably,
maybe.
what did you do?
I said Angela Lansbury was begging for black African American males' penises to be slammed inside of her.
Well, you might as well just unprivatize it now. You let the cat out of the bag.
Well, that's what I said.
Okay, then what's stopping? I mean, like,
But I mean,
you can go back and
it
say
was the
that
way
you
I said it.
and it was hilarious
It-
because it was Angela Lansbury from her perspective saying it, not you saying it. That's the
well,
beauty.
that wasn't the only thing. I mean, that was one thing, but the other things was family related and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
The entire
I mean, nothing wasn't
listening
true.
audience knows, man, a good thereabouts size of my dad's penis. So, you know what I mean?
I'm not so much upset about the fact that my mom pulled a shotgun or the cane stuff, you know.
You detailed an assault
Yeah, and I detailed stuff about
that
family
bitch
members.
deserved.
I've detailed stuff about like stepbrothers and stuff that I didn't really want to get into.
You
Like
kinda
I probably shouldn't
Broke
have.
HIPAA laws too, didn't you?
About. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if that's breaking HIPAA law. I'm not a. If you tell me you got a back injury, well. You told my mom I had a bad back. That's why she was so concerned that day I was trying to pull you in. Don't hurt your back out here trying to pull my son in. Won't you come in here and warm up for a minute? You gotta be cold.
Yeah.
But no, man, I feel bad about that. So, I mean, I thought about maybe taking some of that out just because it's family. You know, we did an interview where somebody said something one time in an interview that about one of your family members.
Yeah.
That we were like, yeah. I remember I talked to you and I was like, what do you think? Take it out or leave it in? I was like, I would be fine with it either way. And you're like,
Yeah.
go ahead and take it out. I was like, probably a good call.
And turns out
It was a great call.
because he was pissed at
'Cause-
you
yeah.
because
That
he remembered
that
he said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great story though.
That was hilarious.
I came up here the other day, and it smelled like a sports bar up here. The fan was still on. The computer here was still up and running. This was like Sunday,
Day after.
the day after, and like Sunday night, it smelled like a cigar up here bad.
Still.
Yeah, I had to throw all the ashes like in a little thing, and I flushed them all and tried to clean them up. There's still some ashes over here. I don't smell. That was something funny you said. I was like, man, I need an ashtray up here. And you're like, you plan on smoking a lot up here? I was like, no. Well, you don't need an ashtray.
Use this can.
You did a great job though of trying to lead. I think what did I say? I was like, you were good at the wheel. You did a good job trying to drive, and you were like, little did I know there was no steering wheel.
Yeah. And you said, well, this is an advantage. And I said, I think this is actually a disadvantage.
I don't remember what happened, but one of your lines was, "You just want to abandon the store and sing."
Probably would have been more suited to your mood.
Yeah, I was I was happy though, man.
You were acting like a fucking idiot, and you were trying to light what was left of your
Almost
cigar.
burned my nose.
Yeah, you was trying to light the end of your cigar, but your flame was like fucking 6 inches away from the cigar itself. I guess because it looked like it was fucking near it because of how drunk you were. And I kept saying, it's like, you need to get closer to that lighter, get closer to that lighter. Yeah. And then you finally
At least you were trying to enable me. That's
you
awesome.
finally got just a dot of the cigar lit. I mean, just a teeny ass little red dot.
There wasn't much left of the cigar.
I mean, it was a whole round ass cigar, but after all that fighting trying to get it lit, you had like a little teeny ass dot. Yeah. And I remember saying, well, you want to get to one of these tabs? I want to talk about life with you, Josh. But you're sucking on it like you're trying to siphon gas out of a Pinto.
I was trying to get it lit. And I was like, I can't pull this fire back to my face.
And thank God that you forgot what you were doing and we didn't have our life conversation. Because that probably would have been nasty.
Why is that?
Well, if you said all that shit about your own family, what was you wanting to, pick apart about mine?
No, I wasn't. I never...
So not only should you be in my shoes right now... You should be a lot broker than you are. You piece of shit.
Your daddy? It should be mine.
Yeah.
Not that I want it. I want the size, not his. You know what I mean, you asshole? No.
You used to get so wasted at the beginning, like me right now. No, I don't think so. Not then. Oh, that was great though, dude. Like, I explained a bit of the scenario to somebody at work, and I got the joy of at least till Wednesday. Just we'd be working or whatever, and and I just
rocket time. There was some things about that show when I listened back that I didn't remember.
You don't say.
And that's not me. Like, dude, I remember when I drink, I usually don't forget a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
Dude, I think you were
I had
into it.
I had 4 rum and cokes by the time you got here, and I was working on my 5th.
Now, when you say that, this isn't like shots he's talking about. This is a big old tumbler.
Like when you got here, you looked at the bottle because we were downstairs, and you said, "What did you say to me?"
I said, "Lord, I hope that wasn't full when you started, because it's the step after a 5th."
And what did I say?
That damn sure was close to it, Joshua. Rocket time!
I forgot about yelling on the porch.
You were standing outside.
I was
screaming.
Yelling. I was screaming at my wife's aunt and uncle across the street,
which they had on a house stereo system. Rocky Top the song, and you would occasionally engage with them hooting and hollering.
Yeah,
and then you try to talk to me. But I'd be like, yeah, so you want to go, Rahoo! What I'm talking about? Like, you just divert your attention to them immediately in mid-sentence of what I was saying to you.
Why wasn't you coming inside? Why wasn't you trying to hurry me in?
I was like, hey, and the dog, you left your dog outside. And I kept going, hey, come on, let's go inside, buddy. He just wanted to bark at shit.
Right. He was happy, too.
And you was in there in the kitchen texting. Like, you had your phone in front of you the entire time.
Yeah.
And I guess you were, talking to people. I would pay, because I don't think Facebook has a way to see all the shit that you said to people.
Yeah.
Like, you can go on Twitter and just go to replies.
Yeah.
And see shit you've said to everyone. I don't think Facebook has that, but damn if they did, dude, that would have been great.
Yeah.
You'd probably misspelled all kind of shit and fucking... You were trying to get people like Buzz and shit on the show right then. You were like, I went back and looked.
I made a comment, and he was like, yeah, I said, do you want to be on the show? Yeah, I said, do you want to be on the show? Are we still on COVID when somebody sneezes and coughs?
I still...
You had it.
You don't know what I had. Can you prove it?
Those people at that concert.
Can you prove I had it?
I can't hide the way I feel. anymore.
Well, mostly smell and taste. No, I wasn't at that point then.
Yeah. Oh, did you lose? Did you lose it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you lost your sense of smell and taste.
I like.
I know you didn't have a sense of style.
A few days later, after I started feeling bad, and then it came back. A few days later.
Oh, mine was gone for like 3-4 weeks.
You must have had the good COVID. I must just had a fucking cold, huh?
But
there was one point I didn't have a sense of smell for like probably over a month.
Yeah.
Like this was probably 2014 or 15, something like that.
Fucks with you, don't it?
I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Should I be worried?
It just came back.
When I was
great.
When I was little, I used to have that my ears pop and they wouldn't unpop.
Yeah.
So it was like everything was like
Yeah.
like what? I can't hear you.
When I was a teenager, it was bad like that for me.
Yeah, I didn't know that there's like a little tube in your ear that goes all the way to your nose.
Yeah.
Like imagine like your nose being like a straw that McDonald's would give you, and the tube that goes from your ear to your nose is like a shrunk down version of a coffee stirrer.
Right.
And that shit clogs up with shit all the time. But no, man. So trying to get Buzz on the show. I actually texted him
And-
because I have his number, and he's like, "Oh, I can't do it tonight."
Thank God.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Made a good choice, Buzzer. Made a good choice. And thank God Miles didn't get through.
We put out our number, and I don't know. I look back, and we only had like maybe 3 missed calls, and they were from Miles.
And why didn't it go through? We answered.
Well, we
that
had
one.
we had the volume down.
Oh,
And just in case, because we got used to not being a take a call show.
right.
So I had the volume down, and then while I was talking, it was like boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh!
But I will say though, man, for all the bullshit during like the first 30 minutes or so, maybe like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that first 45 was rough.
For all that bullshit with that, like when I did divert the attention to tabs, it was great.
Yeah.
Like it was like the show again, you know?
Yeah.
And you would pay attention and be focused on what we were watching and stuff. But, you know, when you're fucking so hammered like that, it's like being a little baby or something. As long as you got the little toy in front of them, they're entertained. But as soon as we wasn't on a tab or something, you could have got a little more out there.
Well, here's the thing. When we started doing the tabs, like so inside baseball here, I never want to go straight to tabs. Like that's supposed to be. I'd like to start with the show with banter. If we never get to tabs, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I want to be a little banter there, back and forth. Like what happened, your day, see what we've got going. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And when you started the shirt commercial, in my mind that day, I was like, what does this dude do? We've only been talking 5 minutes. I listened back. We had been going for like 40.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. But I was so like, I thought we were like, I could see what you were trying to do. Like, I appreciate it now, but back last week, I'm like, I want to do a show. This ought to be funny, you know? And yeah, it was not. There were parts. There were parts of it that were funny. But
yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
For the most part, like when it wasn't you talking about your family and stuff.
And I'm
and you remember, I said, would normal Richard say this?
Oh, I remember that.
Oh yeah, I probably already talked a little about it.
I probably
before.
would, some of it, yes, but not the depth in which I went into it with.
And you're like, and the little one, he was like 7. He wore a size 3 shoe. That's how I knew it wasn't him that had stepped on my fucking wrestling man. Whoever it was had a big foot. So I burnt all the older kids' shoes. And that's when my mom hit him in the head with a shovel. You were out there.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about my grandmother. She wouldn't want you to know.
He deserved it, too. That's what I want to stress.
I spit on him while he was there.
If I seen him right now, I'd be like, hey, man. And then you get all emotional and shit. I love that one, though.
I didn't cry
was
yet
awesome.
last week, did I? Oh, other than the football game.
I don't know what you did.
I didn't break down about family.
It was pretty cool though.
Ah, well. I mean,
Everybody loves a car wreck, Mr. Lee. Everybody.
that's why NASCAR's so popular. You think they want to see everybody win and race all competitively? No. They want to see
Secretly,
fiery
you
crash.
hoping it's a goddamn mess. Mess.
You want to see weeping family members walking down that pile up. That's what you want.
That's what you want to see. And the Lord knows you're going to see it too.
He knows what's in your heart.
He knows in your heart. It don't matter.
That's why you're watching that NASCAR.
You won't see somebody burning up.
Hoping somebody will pull a Dell Earnhardt and break the neck. That's what you're hoping.
And the Lord knows too. Oh, that used to get me.
What? Lord knows.
And then the Lord knows it too.
I was doing. Turning tricks back there, ain't you? Doing it for cigarettes. Lord knows.
Oh, man.
Lord knows.
Oh, man. What would Mama have thought of you last week?
Oh, she would. Well, no, she would.
She would
Alcohol
not-
was.
she would not have had
strictly-
that.
Oh no, and there's still some family members that alcohol is a no go.
Yeah.
Like me and Brian used to. My cousin Brian used to always joke about.
Now, is this normal Richard name?
Yeah.
Member?
I'm not drunk.
Okay.
he was in the back smoking crack, right? No, no, Brian.
Caught him on that Christmas, huh?
Brian used to joke that he was gonna. We always do Dirty Santa, and what Dirty Santa is, everybody brings a random gift that's like valued at like $10. You know what I mean? And it goes into the floor.
They call it dirty because you feel like you got ripped off because it's only worth $10.
Well, no, it's a fun game. So what it is, you have a bunch of gifts. You put them in the middle of the floor. Everybody draws a number, and that's who gets to go. Like, so if you drew 1, you get to go first. Well, you open up a present. The number 2 can steal your present or open up another present.
Now I know how all you rich folks keep your money. You do shit like that on Christmas.
Well, it's a fun game. My grandmother played it like...
You don't get rich by giving you money away, right?
We started playing that game with our family 2 years before my grandmother passed away. She did it twice.
She like it?
She loved it.
Cool.
She loved it. So we just continued doing it after she passed away because the gifts weren't like so like it wasn't like somebody was going to open an iPod, back then.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like basically you opened up a present. It might be a toaster. Somebody goes, I want that toaster. Give me that toaster. And the third owner gets to keep it. So
Right.
that's the last person that can steal it. So that's what we did. Well, Brian had always talked about bringing like a fifth and just throwing it in there. And I was like, dude, I got to live with these people.
Yeah.
Like these
Good to
family
escape.
members will not like this. So yeah. But yeah, she would have not liked that at all. What's funny is she smoked, dipped. There's a lot of things like that she did, but she did not like alcohol whatsoever.
That's how some people are, man. My granny was the same way. She smoked. She didn't dip, obviously, but I think it was because of her parents and her brothers and shit.
Yeah.
Like, she had to deal with all that. So, like there were some family members she would only go over there every once in a while because they were. I mean, I assumed, because she would talk shit about them drinking and stuff.
How would she say it?
He's a drunkard or something.
That's it.
A drunkard. He's probably over there drinking again.
I'm getting the
some
voice
kind
in
of
my
shit,
head as you're saying it. My grandmother thought that snakes stuck you with their tongue.
How you?
You
How you
stick
think
you with
you
that,
get that poison in there?
stick you with that forked tongue. I can get you.
Like, you put that
And
poison
I
in
remember
there.
telling her she thought that, and she thought soft-shelled tacos were dough.
I don't want
I
none of that dough.
don't eat that dough mess. You bring me one of them hard. She couldn't eat the hard-shelled tacos because her teeth, like they hurt her teeth. But she wanted them because she was like, I ain't eating that dough. That's just dough. I ain't eating it.
It's maize.
That's dough. And if you eat one of them, it'll attract snakes and they'll bite you. They'll get you that tongue. And you're like, no, they bite you. No, I get you with that tongue.
No, I literally learned this in science class.
You were raised on a farm. How do you not know this? Anyways. But no, man. I guess now that, is anything else you want to?
I mean, I wish I had a length of water hose with a brass end on it to whip you with last week, but wasn't nothing handy. That's about it.
Well, I'll say this. I've beat myself up over it. This is where I get a little real.
Is this what you wanted to say before I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've beat.
You didn't want me to do it after you said all this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, you could beat me up afterwards. I just didn't feel like
I'd
you'd
want to.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll be the judge.
Go
of that.
ahead. Feel free to do whatever. I have discovered, because I started not drinking there for a while, like
Doing great too.
doing great.
And
I
that
had
fucking mouse ruined everything.
I had decided that I was like, what the fuck is what mouse? No,
That fucking mouse.
drink this, motherfucker. Woo-hoo!
We'll give you more points at the Hilton.
I was bored at Disney, and I did have like 2 beers there. I didn't get drunk at all. I can't afford to get drunk at Disney. Jesus.
$35.
Yeah. Oh no. It's like $12 a beer.
Shit.
Yeah.
It was more than that at Megadeth.
It might have been more. I don't know, dude. It was like $12. The one. I had.
We don't look at the receipts. What am I, a poor?
As you say that, and you're holding up your pinky while you drink that cup of that sophisticated red Solo cup you brought over here.
This is the Walmart version.
Oh yeah.
Great value cups.
Coming over here with them Solo cups, thinking you better than everybody.
I don't give a shit you paid $10 for that pack.
No, I had stopped drinking for a while, and dude, I know I hadn't brought this up in quite a while. I have been off and on struggling with some depression type issues, and I've been fighting it. I stopped taking the medicine they were giving me because it made me, like, it made my eyes jittery.
Yeah.
Like, it made my eyelids jitter, like, seriously, like shake. And there was some other, like, small side effects. I'll get into that. But I was like, man, I don't feel right taking this. I was like, I think I've got it. I wasn't drinking a lot, so I was like, I think I got it. I was doing good, feeling good. I had a few drinks in Florida, and I came home and feeling kind of But last week, for whatever reason, we had alcohol here from Florida that we brought back with us. And I saw it and was like, well, I'm going to celebrate a little bit. I hadn't drank a lot, have a few drinks. And I noticed, I finally discovered the correlation that a lot of my depression comes after drinking. Like, and when I say that, I know that sounds kind of like, duh, it's a depressant. But, like, I go through a tremendous high because I went out. I went out after our podcast last week. And I was the most responsible drunk ever. I got an Uber. I had a friend there with me the entire time, a friend from work. We talked, hung out. I come home at 2. My wife picked me up at 2 and brought me home. I didn't punch anybody. I didn't throw up. Nobody had to carry me out. I didn't hit on any women. I didn't do anything. I sit and played darts with my buddy and just talked, just hung out. And I woke up the next day, and you would have thought I was like, I had done everything Wilt Chamberlain had done in his career and Charlie Sheen. And, like, in my head, it felt like I was telling myself, you're an asshole for doing that, like, I've had the guilt of
A cheating man.
Not only just a cheater, but a cheater, an asshole that had punched 3 people that didn't deserve it, somebody that was breaking stuff, like any kind of guilt you can throw in there. I had it, and I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. What the fuck? So that feeling didn't go away, which probably could be some of the reason why I took the show down too, was because of paranoia and anxiety. That's 2 things that I've been having a lot of. But that feeling didn't go away until like Thursday. Like, and I still have moments of it. Like, I've had moments of it today, and it's like, man, I can't trade off this feeling for like a 3 or 4 hour high of the alcohol that it gives me, and then feeling like I've let the world down the next week. You know what I mean? like I said, I didn't want it to sound like I'm getting so super real, but like Brewfest was today. I had planned to go to Brewfest. Last week, I had sent a message to the people that was going to go with me. I'm like, I'm not going because I can't. My reunion's tonight.
Mm-hmm.
My high school reunion. I'm going to go, but I'm driving. I've told people, I'm like, look, I'm not drinking. I mean, I can't right now. I'm not. Maybe one day I'll be in the space where I can have a few and I'll be fine with not feeling like an asshole the next day. Maybe I need to get on, like, I probably need to see somebody. Like, I probably need to talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Probably. Sure, we all do.
Yeah, and my wife's championing that. Championing. That's a word I couldn't say last week. My wife's like, yeah, both of us probably need to go. And I'm like, well, we'll see. You know, I don't know. So I'm mentally, I'm like, I don't want to. If you admit you need help mentally, it's stupid. But if you admit you need help, you're kind of in that part where you're like, well, I need help. You know, I don't want to be a crazy person, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's just, man. And then the other side is, you know, we've talked about my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she was way younger when she started showing signs of this, but it's like, is this signs of it? Is it all self-induced with the alcohol, or is it I'm having a small chemical imbalance that needs to be cleared? You know what I mean? It's a weird place to put it on a dick joke podcast, but, you know, we talk about this being therapy all the time, and I mean, I don't know, man. I've got to do something, and alcohol is probably not the best thing for me right now. So I'm going to try to make it a sober October, November, and December.
Great.
Try to get through all these holidays without drinking, because that's the crux of it, is the boredom.
Tell me about it.
You know what I mean? It's like the boredom. It's like,
yep.
Where you're like, does huffing paint do anything to you? Like, sometimes you're just like, man, I've played this game, I've done this, I've done that. I wouldn't mind just feeling relaxed a little bit more, you know? Right. And I'm an overthinker. I made myself laugh the other day. I was like, am I an overthinker? Let me think about this for a minute.
What are the characteristics?
Right?
Not really sure. Well, yeah, I'm nuttier than squirrel shit too, Richard, but you don't hear me crying about it. You little prick. What's wrong with you?
Pull
them britches up and shut the fuck up.
I do.
Let's talk about some tabs.
You know, we have.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, no. You know, we have a new comedy club here in Jackson. I have battled the idea of getting some time together and trying to do an open mic night. I don't know if I'll ever do it.
Yeah.
It was something that I had started writing notes on. I don't know if you remember me talking about my old phone. I had a whole bunch of shit in that, and it's just gone forever. I wish I could get to some of those notes. But, yeah, I had a whole thing of, like, just bits that I had thought of, and I can't remember half of them now. Some days I wake up and think of something funny. It makes me giggle, and I'll either write it down or I'll lose it forever. And here lately I've just been losing it forever. But anyways, Josh, here's something that you won't lose forever. And it's the opportunity to bring home a great P3 Radio t-shirt. And you can do that right now at tinyurl.com/P3RadioTees. It's the home of P3 Radio merchandise. And Josh, if they go over to tinyurl.com/P3RadioTees, Tees, what kind of shirts are they going to find over there?
Well, we have plenty of t-shirts over there, man. We got that 80s style tee, that cover art t-shirt. You know, it's got both of our faces on it. And you could wear our faces trying to lay some bitches. That would be great. You might get, look at that bald guy.
Just us staring at her.
I'd like to squirt on that head. Look at that bald head. Oh, that got very deep, didn't it?
Just us staring at her while you're Donald Ducking it.
Or Winnie Poohing.
Winnie the Poohing it.
Whatever the fuck you want to do. But what you need to do is go over to tinyurl.com/P3RadioTees. That's your t-shirt hookup, baby.
tinyurl.com/P3RadioTees, the home of P3 Radio merchandise. Oh. This is a Josh Brawley find this week.
Love it.
Well, this is how we found it.
It was suggested.
It was suggested by Chance. And that's not a person, that's just actual chance. This is Hall & Oates with Everything Your Heart Desires.
Love the shit, man.
Just let your soul glow.
It's really got that 80s feel to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I like 80s music, man.
I do too. Therapeutic almost.
So the chance that we found this was we just looked up top songs from 1988 and we did the top 100. Josh chose number 72?
72 this
And
week.
it was Hall & Oates. This week was number 72 on the charts. So it was a hit for them. It was a top 100 hit.
It wasn't a hit to them, but it was a hit to me.
Yeah. This is the way I kind of felt last week, though. Everything my heart desired.
You had encompassed it.
Little did I know the world was about to fall, Joshua. Wow.
I think if you wouldn't have done stuff you felt guilty for, like in terms of on the show and stuff,
that
probably wouldn't have felt the way that you did because, like I told you, I've survived that guilt plenty of times now.
Yeah.
And it lasts. And like you're saying, I would be paranoid that somebody was going to hear something that I said or I shouldn't have said during that week's podcast. You almost just have to hope they don't hear it.
I'll open it back up. I just, you got one called Rocky Top. And it's the last one, and it's the first one we've promoted on the show, on our social media in a while. Because I'm like, call me. I deleted some of those too, where I was like, call us.
I tried to fucking go back and look and see.
No, I woke up with that
all
shame.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, I woke up with shame.
I gotta get yesterday out of my head.
I almost deleted the video of me screaming.
Why?
I don't know, dude. It's got like 500 and something views
because it was associated with yesterday.
The Vols. It was associated with the Vols win, I guess, because
and that was the reason that you got that way. So
I remember BT was like,
that's the reason you used as an excuse to get that way.
BT was like, you ought to make that shareable. I tried to share it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I feel shameful about that. He's like, well, it is embarrassing, but it's a good embarrassing.
Right.
I was like, I'm not in the mental state there yet, man. I don't know.
Well, you shouldn't have done it then. No, I'm just playing. What do you want me to say?
What you want me to do, Josh? What you want me to do? You want me to hurl myself in
Come
the
here,
traffic?
let me burp you. What do you want?
But yeah, I mean, everything will be fine.
You're damn right it will.
I just got to get to that point in my headspace where I can tell myself and believe it. You know what I mean? I know that sounds stupid, but
tell yourself what?
That everything's fine. Because I know everything's fine. Like I said, didn't do anything at the bar. Come home feeling like I did everything. Like I had done hardcore drugs off a stripper's titty or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I didn't do any of that stuff. I threw darts, talked about work with a buddy.
I bet you were a hoot talking about your job with another guy that works there. Lord have mercy. Or you think you talked about work. You probably just had your phone and you're like, yeah. Did you drink anything while you were gone?
2 beers and 1 White Russian.
Good God Almighty.
That's it.
I bet you that
I finished the 5th drink in the Uber ride. I told you I had 5 of the rum and cokes.
Yeah.
Now, don't get this wrong. This was over the course. I started drinking when the Vols started playing, so it was 5 drinks over the course of 2 hours.
Dude, I seen the size of that bottle.
Yeah, I mean they were healthy rum and cokes.
Yeah, don't play if I had 2.
The bottle wasn't full. The bottle was probably half full.
Well, that's not good.
It wasn't long. I don't want you to think I drank the whole bottle. I didn't drink the whole bottle. It was probably about that much though.
Well, dude, like you were not that. You shouldn't have been that drunk.
I haven't drank really, and I really didn't eat much last week. I told you I've been kind of like on this diet, and I don't eat a lot.
You were intensely drunk.
Yeah.
Like I told somebody at work, I said, I seen the drunkest.
Everybody at your work got a story. Didn't
Like
they?
I said, I seen the most functional drunk motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. He was on autopilot for like 2 hours, but he was like, you know,
Other than insulting me and bringing up family stuff.
I haven't seen somebody be in the dark for that extended period of time.
I mean,
that is amazing to me.
In a better light, like I didn't like just fall apart. You know what I mean? I was slurring my words. I tried to read that last story. Reading wasn't my thing. But I didn't fall completely apart.
So you're telling me, without recording the podcast last week, you would have remembered?
Oh, no. No, I'm not saying I would have remembered anything.
Okay.
I'm saying, but I didn't.
That means you wasn't there.
I didn't. No. I'm not arguing with you there. I didn't completely like. I guess my falling apart would be not being able to answer the bell.
Oh no.
Not to throw this back on you or anything, but my falling apart wouldn't be like collapsing in the alleyway.
Right.
That would be my falling. I kept it together pretty well.
It doesn't matter if.
But I was gone.
If you're on autopilot, you're on autopilot.
There was lights on, but there wasn't anybody here.
Like, I've heard that I've been on autopilot for extended periods of time when I drink tequila. I'd be awake.
Right.
I don't remember any of it.
My house.
And then I'd look at these pictures we took. And I'm like, oh my God.
Am I blowing an elephant?
Oh, dude, but yeah, you were fucking gone for like ever. It was amazing.
Yeah, I would have to liken myself to the McAllister house in Home Alone, where they had all those those party lights going, and he's trying to fool people that there's a house full of party, but it's just really
There's
one
a
person.
house full of party.
There's a house full of party.
That's me, baby.
Party goers.
House full of party.
And it was so sweet.
Oh, what's name something about the parties?
New Year's. Cinco de Mayo.
Dude, I actually used that as an analogy at work the other day. I said, yeah, it's harder than me on Cinco de Mayo. He said, what'd you say? And then I told him, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
He knows how I am.
Sexual deviant, yes.
Yes. Oh, he's right there with me. It's cool.
He likes the Hispanic
He's like
women.
us.
He
He's
likes
one of you and me.
He likes the Hispanic women.
Oh, no. I'm just saying,
Oh.
he's like us. He's very, he's a deviant. His sense of humor's fucked up.
I painted you as a drunk this last week, and you paint me as a deviant. That's great.
Most people aren't like us. You realize that, right?
No, I feel like there's more people like us than not.
They're
just not open about it.
If you go to your job or my job right now, you aren't going to find, maybe they're closing it. I don't know. But when I've tried to be certain ways with people or humor,
come on, let me see your titties.
they're not. They shut it down. Like guys are really bad about it. You know what I mean?
No.
Like not wanting to put themselves out there to be funny.
Oh yeah. Well, you can't.
You
can't. If you said the wrong thing, it's harassment.
I'm talking about even with other guys.
Oh
like
yeah.
Okay, that's funny.
Nowadays, you can't because it can be considered sexual harassment if you're saying something that's inappropriate. You know what I mean?
Good God, man!
I'm telling you.
I'm just saying a lot of people are goobers, dude, and they don't want to joke around.
Oh yeah. Well,
and
then you got some that just can't. They're just not witty.
Right, and I get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've found one of us like at work, and it's cool. It's like I'm, having fun all the time. It's cool, and
It's always a good
it's a lot better than being around somebody that's got to stick up their ass the whole time. You know what I mean?
Is that anti-gay?
No.
I'm just joking. That'd be the thing that gets you in trouble. Josh, what do you got against stick-up ass people? What is that? Is that a slurp or something?
I had a nightstick up my ass last week. What's wrong with that? Well, it goes back to personal choice and whatnot.
Yeah.
Either way, what is this? Why is this bitch still up here?
Oh, that's just because I didn't want you to see the next story, Josh, because after everything I said last week, one of the things that I did say, I thought, the family might get a little angry at me.
Yeah, there's a lot of them too.
No,
They might
Angela
really hurt
Lansbury's family might get
Oh
angry
yeah,
at
because
me.
they'll hear it.
They might. We get hits in England all the time. Wasn't she based in England? She's like
I don't really
90-something
know.
years old. Anyways, but her family couldn't get really mad at me, Josh, because here's a story that I just found today. Angela Lansbury once made a sex club a little more welcoming for John Waters. Look at John Waters. The story is from Vanity Fair. It says Angela Lansbury was intentionally... Oh, I'm sorry. Fucking A. Angela Lansbury was internationally known for her amateur sleuthing skills on Murder, She Wrote, but John Waters claims that the late actor also knew how to cut loose.
Wasn't she an actress?
The late yeah, I guess she was an actress. Uh-oh. Did they just out Angela
They're
Lansbury?
not. They're not very fluid with their terms.
Yeah. In his 2019 memoir, Mr. Know-It-All, The Tarnished Wisdom of a Filth Elder, that's the name of it, the story director revealed that he once saw Lansbury checking out the scene at a New York City nightlight spot called Hellfire that he described as a dungeon-like sex club that catered to gay and straight perverts alike. So what I said last week, that Angela Lansbury, that I would like to think that she had said slam, that into me.
Slam what?
Penis.
What was she said?
Anyways, you know what I said. Might not have been too far off.
Definitely.
This anecdote was initially resurfaced by Ed Guntz of the LGBTQ Nation shortly after the actress's death earlier this month. At the age of 96, in a chapter titled One Track Mind, Walters recalls the crowd that night mixing together, and it says mixing in quotation marks. That was
Reckon what they meant.
that was just front to back. Everybody was mouths and hoo-haws were on something.
Get in where you fit in.
and others just plain voyeuring like happy sex tourists. He said that the S&M Club was built underground around an old subway platform on the 9th Street in the Meatpacking District.
Oh, boy.
Adding that those types of clubs were all the rage for a while.
I bet they were.
And slowly people started dying out. Syphilis.
Why is that?
Syphilis and... no, I don't know.
Oh, you know.
The Pink Flamingos filmmaker also noted that during a virtual book talk organized by Literati Bookstore in Ann Arbor, Michigan, why did they get a promotion here? In the promotion of his book, that this event took place years before the AIDS epidemic, at a time when all sorts of people were checking out the city's sex club scene. Everybody went. She wasn't doing anything, he explained. It was in Hellfire, and Hellfire was a straight gay bar where people had sex. You would be standing there talking about a new novel of Alan Robbie Grillet, and a penis would come through a glory hole and just and then you just move down to a different location in the club. And it turns out Lansbury was just one of the many famous faces Waters saw at the club over the years. I saw her there, but with a whole bunch of people, he said.
I bet he did.
You went slumming there. I mean, Warhol would go here. Truman, Capote. People would go there. You did not have to participate. You could go there. Okay, you did not have to participate. You could go there. You might be sitting there talking to somebody and looking down at someone licking your shoe, and you just kick them away. But then they would but then
Are you okay?
they like that.
This got
so
you
then
shook up, huh?
Oh boy. I'm getting hard over here. But then they like that. So you had to say thanks, and then they would go away. But it was a bar that you can't imagine. I saw a lot of celebrities there. In an exclusive statement, man, Waters really spilt the beans on a lot of people here, didn't he? Andy Warhol would go in there and suck off a dick or two, and then I once saw B. Arthur in there rimming a guy. It's like, what the hell, Walters? Waters? Walters? I want to call him Walters. Waters added that he's always been a huge fan of the late actor. Angela was pure class, even 40 years ago when these kind of clubs were all the rage. He told the outlet, it may have been the only night she was ever there, but just her presence made Hellfire a little more welcoming. So I'm sticking with my story last week.
Oh, me.
But kudos to her, letting that freak flag for a fly. That's a lot of F's.
I think she was probably just a fan of getting hit with leather chaps from the back. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Slap that leather on that ass, boy.
I'm going to use that as a sound drop.
You go to grabbing sound grabs, and I'll be sure to grab some from the private episode.
That was so clean, too. I wasn't talking over it. It was just you talking. Oh, man. All right. Well, you've earned some tabs, Joshua.
Have I earned them?
You do some earned tabs there.
Did I earn them?
Yes, you did. Did I earn them? Yes, you did.
Have you seen this? Now, I can't imagine. You talk about your mom being a straight-up murderer.
She's OG.
I'm talking about what would your mom have done if you went to a daycare and this happened to you. Let's read this from TMZ. Daycare madness. Horror mask pranksters charged with multiple felonies.
Ooh, Lord.
Yeah, daycare felonies.
Ooh, Lord.
That's never good whenever you hear these number of daycare workers who got felonies.
I don't think they're supposed to let those people wear the masks in their mugshot.
Those are real faces.
Oh, God. Those are more scary.
Well, it says Halloween is now super scary for 4 daycare workers who scared the crap out of children at a Mississippi child care facility.
They look like 3 nailless toes. Look at them. Look at him. This little piggy don't have a nail.
Look at him.
Like you had a small
That
incident
one definitely looks like a thumb.
Yeah. Like a thumb with hair on it.
Look like she's pressing her nose up against glass.
She looks like Buzz from Home Alone, if we can bring that back.
And this one looks like she could get it, but as long as she's, I guess she's over 18, obviously, because her mugshot's released. But
all of them were blinking except the one that probably needs to blink.
This one looks like the best out of.
Anyways, now that we've objectified these criminals,
we've played smash or pass with all these.
Just gonna pass.
The 4 women are now facing 3 counts each of felony child abuse. As you see in the video, which has exploded online, one of the women in the horror mask terrifies little kids who look like they're 3 or 4 years old. The kids understandably lose it, screaming and crying.
Okay, wait. So they're getting charged with scaring kids?
Child abuse charges for scaring the kids in the Halloween mask.
I don't know about that, man.
Another daycare worker is facing 2 misdemeanor charges: failure to report abuse and simple assault. I mean, look at the mask.
Can we see the video? Do that. You said there was a video here. Go up and see if there's a video. That's a picture.
It's saying that the video made its rounds online, but I haven't found the video yet.
Go up a little bit. I think there was a video above here, right here.
Okay, yeah, that's logging. Oh, there we go.
That's the video. I mean, was it all day?
I hope not.
I mean, there's multiple clips of it. That's fucked up. I mean,
I guess when the parents went to the whatever website that they're getting this off of.
Yeah, I can tell you I'd be pissed off. Okay, yeah. I can't. This did go on too long. I don't know. Felonies, though?
I mean, you know. Well, continue. What the
All right,
fuck?
sorry. I can't watch any more of that, man.
Why?
That hurts.
Oh,
It
man.
sucks.
It does suck, but come on. They put it on the website.
They
Let's see
put
what
this on their website.
Or TMZ. It looks like it's just this one woman.
Yeah. I mean, but here's my thing. As a father, I didn't want to ever hear my daughter crying because it's not really pleasant to hear a child scream and cry.
I understand.
Why would you want to make the kids scream and cry like this?
I mean, you know, it's just like I understand.
If she really wants to, that bitch really wants to scare the kids, take that mask off. Look at her without it.
Yeah, it's fucked up how, you know, I guess I feel kind of both ways about it.
Yes.
Because on one hand,
Fire, definitely.
yeah,
Definitely.
but felonies, I'm not
Felony
sure.
child abuse. I mean, should somebody whip the shit out of her? Yes. But I don't know. Felonies?
Yeah, I think it's just because everybody got so mad, and probably
It
because
went
there's
on
video
for way too long.
Yeah.
I mean,
And apparently she's just going classroom to classroom and doing it. Maybe that's why the other ones.
yeah, she's laughing at it.
Yeah.
What did the one woman that was also arrested do?
I hope y'all ready.
What the hell?
Maybe it seems like
Oh, so she was just going classroom to classroom.
maybe it's because have you seen those things online like where it's like a mom in a fucking leopard suit or whatever, head to toe, and it shows her scaring the fuck out of her kids on the couch, and it's the kids, you know, like all red face screaming, and it's the mom scaring the kids, and
Yeah.
and the tagline says something like, "I told my kids that this woman comes out if they dirty up
Yeah.
the house."
Yeah.
And she was scaring the fuck out of him in the suit. I think because the women are asking, "Have you been bad?" and this and this. Maybe at some point they were getting unruly, and they thought they would tell them, "Well, since you want to be bad, this is what happens if you're bad.
When I was
This
little,
person will come and scare the fuck out of you."
when I was little, my grandmother, I swear to God, told me that if I woke up and tried to take a peek at Santa, that he would spit snuff in my eyes and blind me. So I get the scare tactics, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I get the whole, you better not mess with that man, he'll molest you.
Oh God, yeah.
I get that scare tactic
Telling you
too.
for your own good,
That
Richard
that
Lee.
is a real like that's
Yeah.
But I have heard, you know, that we're from the South. South, it was where scare tactics were born, you know.
Yeah.
So what you get from messing with
Well, this
insert
was Mississippi.
here.
so-
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not too far from here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's,
but yeah,
it's the
yeah.
South.
So scare tactics were
I get
born
it,
there.
but that's so fucked up.
But this is kind of messed up. This would be like if they had a Santa impersonator spitting at me like, you better go to sleep. You better go to sleep. Yeah, that would probably mess me up.
blind you. That
The-
way
the-
you won't see him no more.
I was like, I'm pretty much blind already, Mama. I had like a +5 stigmatism. Couldn't see shit anyways. You wouldn't even have to get the full suit on to just put somebody in a white beard and hat. I'd be like, Santa. Yeah, don't put your glasses on, kid. The last line is, what's interesting, whether the parents of the kids will sue for infliction of emotional distress. Now, that I'd be all for. If they wanted to sue the daycare for, because you're expecting them not to be scarred
Yeah.
in a way.
They will be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, they'll definitely.
That's what's fucked up about it.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, maybe felony child abuse isn't too far out of the equation. I'm like on the fence. I don't know how to feel.
Because whenever you hear that, like, okay, what if?
Because you don't want them to get the same treatment as somebody that starved and beat their kids for 3.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I just don't know how. Like, I don't think these women should go to prison for years.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Fined, suspended, fired.
Go
not
find
suspended.
another job. You
Fired.
don't work with kids anymore.
No,
or
you're not
something
allowed
like
to
that.
work with kids anymore. You're fired, and you're going to be hit with some, like the daycare is probably going to get sued.
Yeah.
That
But
I'm all cool
probably,
with.
You know, they probably won't get very much.
No, and they probably won't be around long. That daycare will probably
Right.
be
They'll
closed
file
soon.
bankruptcy, and
Yes.
then that'll be it.
Yeah.
Just like that little video that we played. Yeah. This right here. I was.
We
gonna
talked
say
about this
something.
before.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, we've talked about it, how messed up it was.
Oh, well, there it is again.
You probably drunk that day, you know. If somebody was to ask me which one of us would be drunk, Josh,
Yeah, I'd
say it was you.
Have to be you.
So Josh brought a story to the show that we've talked about before, but it's still pretty hilarious.
Well, I don't remember saying this, but the one thing I'm thinking about the whole time I'm looking at this, it's a Titanic, and it's a bounce house deal. And it's sitting sideways and all that.
It's capsizing.
The
ship is
capsized
capsizing.
Titanic.
Yes.
And it's a fucking they use it as a slide.
Yes.
And all this. Now, look, I know there's probably nobody around that still remembers what happened.
Oh no. Well, everybody remembers. Nobody was on it. That's still alive.
I'm talking about was there
Yes.
during that time. Either way,
Yeah.
I don't see World Trade Center bounce house slides, in the future. I just don't see it.
At the same time, though. Oh, go ahead. Finish.
How? This is disrespectful, man.
It is. At the same time, just
it was international water.
Yeah. No.
So did they die?
I don't want this to
they
sound
died.
like this is kind of screwed up. Having a a water like a little.
It was
air
a tragedy,
slide.
a fucking tragedy.
Yeah, over a ship that sank. But at the same time, you got to go the other way with it. They had a multi-million-dollar movie made about it that had nothing to do with the ship other than the fact that
it sank.
It sank. Yes, that was it. Everything else on that movie was exploitive of this tragedy, just in a way to gain money from it.
Right,
you know what I
but
mean?
it
It wasn't like
wasn't
they followed real stories. They made up two fictional people to be on a tragedy.
And they've probably done that with the World Trade Center stuff too before.
I don't know if they have. I know that. Yeah, I think that they made up one. Was Adam Sandler lost everything on 9/11, and him and I can't remember. It was one of those where Adam Sandler wasn't trying to be funny,
right?
Like a serious movie. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, they exploit. Hollywood exploits this every day. Now, I will say also, video games might not have 9/11, but like Call of Duty had World War II.
They've had all the World Wars.
Yeah, I mean, they're making they had a scene in Modern Warfare 2 that it was called No Russian, and you just walk through an airport and create a mass shooting environment, and you're killing people in an airport before you leave, and they blame it on Americans.
Right.
And it happens in Russia, and it starts the Russian-American War. And
sounds cool.
Yeah, Call of Duty. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, so there's a lot of things like this. This just seems like the mom and pop
But that's a video
store.
game.
Yeah.
This is
That's
a
rated
goddamn
mature.
Kids bounce house.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
What would make this different if it wasn't the two red pillars on it that make it definitely look like the Titanic? If it was just a ship capsized, would that be, if they made it more piratey?
Oh yeah,
That'd be okay.
Pirate
Ship. Pirates deserve to sink, right? Scurvy, limey bastards.
Well,
well, yeah, they deserve to be eaten by a whale. No, I mean, what would make this acceptable though? Would it be? I
guess if
ship?
it was just a regular ship.
If it didn't have those two red things on it that made it very noticeably the Titanic.
I think it's probably the marketing that this is a Titanic deal.
Yeah.
is what hurts the most.
Yeah.
This
What hurts the
situation.
most?
Hurts this situation.
Oh,
the
yeah,
most.
yeah, yeah. I was like, are you offended?
No,
by that?
yeah.
You know, this really hurts me.
My
It digs deep.
my granny was Kinder Rose.
There's a comedian that talks, Roy Wood Jr. He talks about how absurd, about how that whole movie was about her remembering getting a piece of dick on a boat.
That's all it was.
Might not know it, kid, but there's some good dick under that water. Blew my back out right here. That's all that movie was. Oh, man. But, yeah, we talked about how messed up. They have water slides and stuff like this for this, too. What's really messed up is they can only set these up on 35-degree days, and they spray you with water.
Why do you say they can only...
I'm joking, because they froze to death.
Right. Well, then it'd be 32, wouldn't it?
Talk about. Oh, this is a quick one. So this man was the most sacked quarterback in the league last year, Josh. His name's Joe Burrow.
Go Sports.
Yep. He played for LSU, but now he plays for the Bengals. He was a game away from going to the Super Bowl. No, they went to the Super Bowl last year. He is the third most sacked person this year, most sacked quarterback this year. He has been sacked 21 times. And this is a press conference he was doing, and someone coughs. I want you to watch his reaction.
Get a lot of game plan stuff done. I know you said you played
Nah.
Did you see that? He jumped.
The man terrified.
And look what he did with his hands. He put his hands like out like he was going. He was late too. He was so delayed in that jump, but he jumped like he had the football in his arms.
I know you said you played
We didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, or 2 weeks ago, so we're a little bit behind now. I do want to bring this to you, because I know you said yay sports, but oh, look at there. Who's that?
That ain't baseball. That's for damn sure.
So did you know anything about the Tua Tagliavola? He's a former quarterback for the Alabama.
I've seen it on Twitter, and I didn't really understand.
So
I know he got injured 2 weeks in a row or something.
So he was playing a game 3 weeks ago. He took a hit. I'm about to show you that hit. And this is the hit he took. So when I saw this, Josh, the way concussion protocol is, when I saw this, I was like, well, he's out for at least this week and maybe next week. This man came back and played in this game. So I'm going to show you this. And you tell me, because they say this is a back injury that caused him to react this way.
Off his back foot with the rush in his face there. Jalen Waddle makes the catch. Penalty flag comes in,
right here.
And Tua Tagovailoa was roughed at the
hit.
end of the release. The pass rusher came on top of him there, and
Ew.
Tagovailoa suffered some type of an injury on this play. We have Teddy Bridgewater.
Definitely hits his head right there, right?
Well,
He landed like they tell you not to in wrestling school. You don't want to land too high or too low on your butt, because if you're on your butt, your head's going to whip back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened to him. His head whipped back. Now watch the way he reacts when he gets up.
In the game right now, Tagovailoa, oh boy, getting up. Oh my goodness, that's an awful, awful sight to see. They will take him to the side.
They tried to say that was a back injury.
Mm-hmm.
He left for like a quarter and came back and played. Then,
did they win?
Yeah, they won. They beat the Bills. But then you had this happen. So they were like, oh, he just had a back injury. Short week. He's going to play on Thursday night. That was Sunday.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 days. This is him playing.
To a rolling left.
Second quarter.
With the grain, and down he goes.
Takes a spiking body slam type slam on the back of his head.
Slung down in his own 48-yard line. Josh Tupu.
Oh, he's crinkling up.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And they're like, well, that's the first concussion. But it looks like he's trying not to, but failing at throwing up West Side. Like his hands are like moving in, and they said that was a neurological response.
Yeah.
But yeah. So now the NFL has gotten really serious
saw
about
last
sacks
week, and he
and
went down, he got up, was wobbly. The training
they show
staff
it 2 or 3
comes
times
out.
from different angles. Here's your different angle.
I mean, you're thinking about the back, the ankle, but he gets thrown to the ground.
Again, wrenching that back, which was the issue last week.
Bullshit.
So they work on him. We'll step away for a moment.
Yeah, he was flew home, flew home, and was watching movies and stuff. And so Miami has handled this terribly because they put him back in a game where he got hurt.
Right.
2, they put him out there 3 nights later after he'd been hurt. They send out a tweet like, "Oh, he's doing fine. He flew back home and watched a movie with the head coach." And doctors were sending messages to that tweet going, "What are you doing?" They tell concussion victims concussion patients not to be watching flashing lights and shit. It fucks with them. Like he should have had his eyes closed, trying to sleep, trying to rest, trying to recuperate, but he didn't need to be watching a movie. So they've really shot the league in the foot because NFL, I don't know if you know this, knee-jerk reaction league.
What do you mean?
So when Ray Rice got in trouble for beating up his wife, or his girlfriend at the time, now I think now it's his wife, he beat her up in that elevator.
Yeah.
So the league knew about it.
I know.
The league didn't
They only suspended him.
They suspended him after the video came out. They
Right.
knew about it. They knew the severity of it. They knew everything. But when the video came out, they suspended him. Guess what every NFL fan got to see for that next year? PSAs about how domestic violence happens and how we should all be aware and make a stop to it.
Yeah.
Not how they fuck things up. And now they're PSAs. How, it's knee-jerk reaction. We had to see that after the political stuff that happened, they decided to spray, stop hate and all this stuff over the field, political stuff, but knee-jerk reaction. They have to do something that shows we're better. Well, now they're not letting the quarterbacks get hardly touched at all. There was a couple of people that got flagged for tackling the quarterback. There was one guy that got flagged for unnecessary roughness because he gingerly placed the guy. Tom Brady got tackled, and they called it like roughing the passer, and it screwed up the whole game. So yeah. So maybe old Joe Burrow is. I'm losing you. I feel.
Yeah, football.
Yeah. You used to watch football.
I don't anymore.
What about this one? This is football still, but this one will make you happy. This is a few weeks ago. This is a camera catching a Giants player.
I've seen this on Twitter.
Catching a little rub and tug on the side.
What is going on? What is he rubbing?
It definitely looks like he's jerking him off.
Is it a thigh thing? What's going on?
It's his thigh, but he's got his ass out, and it looks like he's getting all rub and tug on the sideline.
This was in London, so he was getting him a wank.
Well, there's a football story for you, Josh, that you can get behind. How about that? Anything else?
Everybody loves wankers.
Here's a dog story. This dog hears his word and gets all messed up over it. You want to hear that? That's cute. That's a cute story.
Peanut butter?
His eye going the other way.
We're getting through these tabs, Joshua. We're getting through them. Do you want to talk about this one or?
Yeah, lay it on us.
Well, this is yours, so I'll let you lay it on us.
Well,
we'll end on a high note.
Bill Murray has been in the news quite a bit lately, and it's not good at all. And we've always heard rumors of like how he was backstage and stuff, and you always hear things, but hardly ever do you see it. It's almost like one person said something like, "Yeah, I had this experience with Bill Murray."
Yeah.
And then another person will come out. It's kind of like the way the Me Too movement thing happened. It was like, well, goddamn, Me Too. That happened to me, and this is what. everybody is coming out with their Bill Murray stories. Like, it's whether or not he deserves it, that's not for me to say, but you might decide otherwise when we
Well, here's my thing about Bill Murray. A lot of the people that are saying some of this stuff, some of it I have heard, and I'm like, well, that's the way Bill Murray was in the movies. You know what I mean? Like, he did things like that he thought was funny, you know, like this story. I'm sure if you were to ask Bill Murray about it, he'd probably say, oh, I was joking with the kid, you know, like.
You never know.
You never know. But, you know, Rob Schneider came out last week and was, like, talking about how Bill Murray was kind of mean to the cast of Saturday Night Live and didn't like Chris Farley and didn't like Adam Sandler.
And that was the same time he was talking about he's turning into a Republican right now.
Something like that. But here's the
They
thing.
had a fucking press conference. Like, he went on Good Morning America.
Jesus.
To tell the world that he is not a Democrat anymore.
What the fuck does that matter to
exactly.
anybody?
I'm like, oh, great.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. And then
Yeah.
he shit on Bill Murray.
Yeah.
In the same interview.
Here was the fun part. Like, I heard somebody, like, you know, they used to be Ron and Fez. And Fez passed away, and they've been doing another show called Bennington. Ron Bennington was sitting there talking the other day on Sirius XM. Was like, I don't know anybody that's ever really had other than a few people, that's ever really had a pleasant experience with Rob Schneider. Like, if you listen to some of the people in, like, Hollywood, they all, like, hate the dude. Like, he's an asshole most of the time. I was like, oh, well, you know. But, yeah, Bill Murray, he's had a few people come after him. I'm a Bill Murray fan, man. I told you I saw that documentary where he was, and this is something Rob Schneider said, too. He's awesome to his fans. He's like, he treats us like assholes.
That's what I'm saying. It's the coworkers.
Yeah.
Like, if you meet him, he'll, like, sign all your shit.
He used, like, there was that documentary I told you about Bill Murray just going to random people's parties and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, they have video evidence of him, like, in somebody's house playing piano for them, and everybody's like, this is fucking Bill Murray. He just show up and play basketball with them or something.
Like, it's not that he's a piece of shit to everybody.
Right. And it might be one of those things where he just don't respect the people that, if they do something, like, he looks at them as jerk-offs.
Well, you know, there are some people that pretty much just don't like anybody that they work with. They almost look at them as competition in a way. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they kind of are that way. Like, we got them there.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, I mean, where's the line? You know what I mean? Just because you won't do it to some people, but it's the people that are, you know, the reason that you exist in the first place. It's like, if there were no fans, there'd be nobody to be on TV for. You know what I mean? But either way, the tagline is Seth, God damn it. That's not what it, so it Seth, God damn it. I hit the wrong button. Seth Green claims Bill Murray threw him in a trash can on a SNL set as a child.
Well, let's be
he
honest.
Says, I was horrified.
Seth Green was a little bit of a shit when he was younger.
Did you know him then?
I did not. I'm just joking.
Either way.
Jeez,
Seth Green, my cousin, man. You need to quit.
You know him, huh? You're personal friends with him?
Seth Green has a Bill Murray story too. See? I'll be damned. They're doing jokes about me too. Seth Green has a Bill Murray story too.
Yeah.
While appearing on Thursday's Good Mythical Morning YouTube show,
That
Green
sounds like a blast.
I mean,
Good
even
Mythical
my
Morning.
little one knows about it. It's
What?
like one of the biggest fucking podcasts
Really?
ever.
Oh.
Or it's one of the biggest YouTube shows ever. Like,
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just aged out of that.
You are not on the algorithm.
Yeah.
Green was faced with revealing his rudest celebrity encounter or eat gross chicken dishes. The Robot Chicken creator opted to talk rather than taste and recount. He recounted a long ago run-in with Murray as a young child on the SNL set that left him in tears. Now, Seth is 48 years old now. But at the time, I think he was probably, I forget, 7 or 9 or some shit like that. But it says he was a child actor doing a spot on the NBC sketch comedy show in December of 1981. For it, cast member Mary Gross interviewed Mary gross. Ew. Interviewed the kids about what they thought of Christmas. Murray, now 72, had been a part of the cast from 1977 to 1980 before breaking into movies and coming back to host. So he was removed for like a year, and then he came back.
Yeah.
And evidently he came back with a bang. He was being a bit of a prick. And it says, I never actually told this story, Green prefaced. But, he said, when I came in to do the bit, I'm hanging out in the green room, sitting on the arm of a sofa. There's a TV on. Green, who recalled being 9, but actually was 7, if our math was right.
See, his store's full of holes, is what you're telling me.
It could be a span of 3 different years.
How long was you in that Saturday Night Live locker room? Maybe they should have threw you in a trash can.
But he asked to change the channel, and the cast member Eddie Murray.
Oh, Eddie Murray.
He's one of the greatest home run in
Now listen, we're going to do some paternity tests.
No. Eddie Murray was like one of the greatest baseball hitters of all time.
I was doing like Murray meets
Murray Povich. Yeah.
Meets Eddie Murphy.
Like if they jerked off in a cup and had a laboratory baby.
We got a lot of believable. Well, so many other things here.
So many things.
So many things to unpack.
But either way, Eddie,
you are the father. Ooh, damn boy, Hercules.
So, Eddie Murphy gave him the okay to turn. I cannot talk. I need to drink.
Where you at? Eddie Murphy gave him the okay.
I got you, big dog. It's just. Whew, I need
now,
to...
is this the show right here that they're referencing?
Yes.
Oh, I've seen this before. They eat shit and taste test
shit?
They taste test stuff all the time. Like, they did that show did a,
Taco Bell
bottle, can, or fountain drink. And they had to choose which one was the bottle, which one was the can, which was the fountain.
Right.
If there was a taste difference.
Cool.
All right, anyways,
it says, I come back and sit down. We're watching Chips when Murray, not Eddie Murray, when Bill Murray entered the room. He saw me sitting on the arm of this chair and made a big fuss about me being in his seat. And I was like, that is absurd. I am sitting on the arm of this couch. And there are several links of this couch that are still left. Kindly F off. And he was like, that's my chair. Now, granted, back in the day, your parents damn sure didn't put up with it, but even strangers didn't put up with kids talking shit to him.
It sounds like he talked back to Bill Murray, and Bill Murray did what he's supposed to do with that little shit's ass.
Green admitted
he
didn't
Santa
know.
Claus. He blinded his
eyes. Yep. But Green admitted he did not know who Murray was. And until another kid from his segment noted it. My mom goes, since he's the Bill Murray, you should maybe give him his seat. And he said, and I go, are you this much of a jerk? You're this rude to tell a child to get out of your seat? What is this, a power play?
So I'm going to say this. He didn't say any of that shit. He probably said something like, no, I ain't giving him my seat. And his parent was there, apparently.
Well, Green claims Murray picked me up by my ankles, held me upside down. I was probably less than 4 feet tall. He dangled me over a trash can, and he was like, the trash goes in the trash can.
Love it.
Oh, man. So, it begs the question. We're not even done with this, but it begs the question.
The parent was there. That's the other thing.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It begs the question. So, fast forward, 41 years later, there are people having felony charges for felony child abuse.
Right. For
scaring them with a mask. Not touching them.
Yeah.
Scaring them with a mask. And this motherfucker threw a kid into the trash can in front of his parents.
Yeah.
And everything was okay. That is a far cry from what we can. Oh my God, that's just insane. But the Buffy the Vampire Slayer alum. Wow, that's like a movie he was in for like 2 minutes.
No, he was on the. Wasn't he on the show?
No, that was Pee Wee Herman that was in that. Never mind.
What?
He was on the damn the TV
movie
show.
Yeah,
he must have been.
Seth Green was on the TV show.
Okay, I was thinking of the fucking movie.
Yeah,
with Christy Swanson's fine ass. Oh my god, I was so infatuated with her back then.
Did she do anything else?
A few things, and then it was
Just kinda
like
fizzled out.
It says the Buffy the Vampire Slayer alum recalled screaming, and I swung my arms wildly, making full contact with his balls.
So okay, so he's not painting a picture of like being the innocent victim here. He was sitting in Bill Murray's chair. He told Bill Murray to F off. He wouldn't get out of his chair. When he asked him, hey, that's my chair, could you please get up? He called him an egotistical maniac. And then Bill Murray grabbed him in a playful manner, and he hit Bill in the balls. Fuck Seth Green. Bill Murray deserved to throw him in the trash can. What happened?
He
Go ahead.
says, he dropped me in the trash can, and the trash can falls over. I was horrified. I ran away, hid under the table in my dressing room, and just cried and cried.
Good.
I don't want to do this show. I can't believe this happened. I've never been so embarrassed in my life.
He's getting Karen vibes here, you know.
Right.
I need to talk to Lauren, your manager.
Where's Lauren at?
Where's Lauren?
There
Michaels?
is a silver lining, though. Eddie Murphy and Tim, your guess is good as mine, went in and talked to him. They were like, hey,
Krasinski.
Everybody knows Bill's a dick, Green said. He's hosting the show. He's probably really nervous about it. You be a pro. The show must go on. So I went and did it. And I went and did the bit, and we've never seen each other since. A rep for Murray, who is notoriously difficult to get in touch with, did not reply to Yahoo Entertainment's request for comment.
Hey, you want to come on and talk about the time that your client was mean to a little kid? No, we'd rather not say anything about that.
Green's recollection followed comedian and SNL alum Rob Schneider's new comments about how Murray hated the cast of the show when he returned to host the show in February of 1993.
Yeah.
So either way, and Schneider says he's super nice to his fans. He wasn't very nice to us. He hated us on Saturday Night Live when he hosted. He absolutely hated us. I mean, seething. He recalled Murray being especially hateful towards Chris Farley. Like, he was just seething looking at him. Like, and when I read that, I'm just like, how the fuck can you do that to Chris Farley?
Well, they took it out of here. But Schneider actually said the reason why he thought he was mad at Chris Farley because Chris Farley was a little over the top at the time, like with drugs and alcohol, and he was glorifying Jim Belushi, and Belushi was like one of Murray's best friends, and he was like, you shouldn't be glorifying that. It's going to get you killed. You know, he's like, but I'm just guessing. I'm like, well, I mean, that's very, I mean, I could see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Chris Farley holds
painted that way.
Yeah.
It's
a little like, okay, I could see where his problem would be. Like if you were at a wrestling show and you were like, this is my chance, this is my time to do it, I'm going to wrestle tonight, and somebody came in and they were drunk and they were like the Intercontinental Champion and they could barely stand up.
Right.
And then looking at you going, somebody said you're going to be at a wrestling show drunk. They think it was you.
Oh, shit.
I don't know.
Well, either way, man, I guess, there's not very much sympathy for Seth Green then.
No.
Because, I mean, I guess when you really dissect it, what the fuck actually happened, it wasn't right for a kid to do that, I guess. But at the same time, I mean, throwing the kid in the trash can.
Gina Davis came out. She was the last one that said she co-starred in the 90s movie Quick Change and detailed a bad experience with him as well. She claimed Murray had insisted on using a massager on her during their first meeting, then later screamed at her in front of everyone when she was late for the set because her wardrobe hadn't arrived. Okay, so first off, the massager thing, that's a little odd.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like that was brought into the situation, but I'm not just taking up for Murray here. Bill Murray.
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 Murray, let me tell you.
But dude, like, he yelled at you because you were late. It doesn't matter that your wardrobe hadn't. He was yelling at you because you were late. Everyone that has something bad to say about Bill Murray was
They've
like, well,
broken the law.
Yeah, they've been like kind of an asshole. So it's like, oh, you were kind of an asshole here. I can't say that he was completely in the wrong because he's a professional.
I mean, you know, I came over here before the show. I used a massager on you. And it's normal behavior, right?
Last year, Lucy Liu detailed a hostile exchange with Murray while making 2000's Charlie's Angels. She said a scene had been reworked, but Murray didn't attend the rehearsal, and he was angry when they were set and the script had been changed. She claimed he singled her out and hurled insults at her.
You can only imagine what kind
That
of
one-
insults those were.
Yeah, I just
Come on, throw some.
I'd need more information about the Lucy Liu thing. That's the only one. That's the only one that I'm like, all right, well then he was kind of a dick there. But the other ones, I'm like, you refused to get out of his chair. You were being a drunk idiot. You were late. You know what I mean?
Sympathy for the Bill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like Bill Murray.
I mean, with the Seth Green thing, yeah, you little prick.
Yeah.
I sit here.
We've
for
always
years.
known those little 7-year-olds that think they're no, in my chair. You know, but you're like
Trash goes in the trash.
And then he's probably just messing with him and holding him over it. You know, like
when he hits him in the balls,
he hits him in the balls and he drops him. You know, little fucker hit me in the balls. I didn't mean to drop him, but I was in pain. Why are you touching my balls, Seth Green? Is that a sound drop you need?
Oh, man. Well, that'll go good with my slap that leather chap on my ass one more time, boy. And with that, we're out.
Well, Josh, if they want to follow us on social media or give us a call, how do they do that?
Well, on Twitter, we are at P3 Radio, the number 1. On Facebook, put in that search bar Pop Poncho, Poncho, and you'll see our photo. And if you want to get with us the old school way, our telephone number is 731-300-6675, bitch!
Well, that's going to do it for us. For Josh Barley, this is Richard Mulligan saying thanks for listening and good night.